Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will discuss your comments. From the video I said I will discuss your comments. I'm planning on doing this kind of videos either once or twice a week, where I'm going to pick a video and I'm going to discuss your comments. I will not mention your names. Why should we, right? So this is one. I announced that I will discuss the comments you made on the yesterday's video with Mr. Jared Taylor. And this is the video I'm talking about, right there. As of now, there are, let me put my goggles, there are 450, let me just refresh it, 461 comments and 983 likes, 983 likes. Thank you very much. So 1,000 likes at a video that has about almost 8,000 people. So 1 in 8 dropped a like. The like is very much high. Thank you very much for that one. And I will discuss your comments. Why? I think it's helpful. Because some people, we learn. Some people may ask questions, interesting questions, and I can give you my answer to those, give you some details. Obviously, there are some comments that will be negative in a way that you suck, you're stupid, and all that, which is understandable, but they don't help anybody. They just show who you are. That's all. Now, in a free world, we are entitled to be fools, or at least entitled to show that we're fools. Therefore, I will never ban anybody's, I don't have anything like that in mind, ban anybody's freedom of speech. And I hope nobody will do this to me, even though I expect this video to have some big problems in the near future. So let's go to the comments. Now, please remember, will be about 600 comments. I don't know if I can go through this, but I will try. So let's start with the first one. Why the first ones? Because the first ones wanted to watch my video. Therefore, I thank you very much. You should be on the pedestal. And I'm not advertising, but that means these people really wanted to hear what Mr. Jared Taylor had to say. Now, I'm not promoting anything or anybody here. I'm just trying to provide you with the opportunity to see or to hear what someone has to say. Good or bad, like or dislike. That's all. So you can turn it off and get the hell out, or you can stay in and comment. Everything is about enhancing our knowledge. So let's start with the first one. It's in Romanian, the first one. Thank you very much, everybody. Wow, Emil, păcat că YouTube nu are buton love pentru emisiunea asta. So translated would be, wow, Emil, it's sad that YouTube doesn't have a love button for this program that I had with Jared Taylor. Well, thank you very much. I think so too. As I said, it's almost 1,000 likes over there for this video. And if this is going to be pulled off, what does that mean? That the community guidelines are against at least 1,000 people? Nevertheless, and it says, why would that happen? 2024 is year for truth to come out. Well, we'll find out if that's true. I hope so. No way. These are Z influencers and Baba online to justify something in the Middle East. Still here, T minus 20 minutes and counting, and a laughing emoji. Now, it says here, shut it down, said this person, shut it down. So shut my program down? My first direct is, you're a tyrant. That's what you are. What if I say shut you down? And when he says shut him down, where are we going to get with this? Nobody will talk? Why, your feelings are hurt? Your pussy hurts? Well, grow up. Be a man. Or a strong woman. All right, my friends, shut it down. All right, let's move on. And says someone, I'm afraid so. And it says these were the replies to this statement, this comment. This interview will be shut down in no time. And someone said, I'm afraid so. And this guy says, shut it down. He said 10 minutes, 20 minutes and counting. So that means it's not down yet. But I have a backup plan. Don't worry. These guys will not destroy me. All right, then it says, I disagree with you on about every point, but I enjoy your work and you are a good person, Emil. Thank you very much. Now that is a person who would learn, who has the how do you call it, the instinct, the mental ability to understand that you might not like things, but sometimes, you agree with others, you learn. The point is enhance your horizon, then horizon of knowledge. And all right, so let's go. There's some answers here. Another one is, let me see, there's some answers, a lot of answers here, replies. Imagine a world where people are intelligent enough to not need religion, says this person. And there's some answers here. Don't be atheism is the illusion of self. Okay, the smartest people in the world are religious for a good reason. How did you measure it and what's the reason? Okay, we're going to a different one. You must first ask who we are. Well, you don't know who you are? Who we are. Probably that implies, and if I get it wrong, I apologize, the implication that we're actually, people in Europe are not actually what they say, because you see you have differences, phenotypical differences. Therefore, it's more diversity in our own group than among other groups, So there's more differences in the, let's say, this kind of this versus between the two different ones. That's the argument these guys are doing. Well, I know exactly who we are, and we know exactly who we are. Well, if you don't, I know. And it says here, if you invite some people here also, you are a saint. I don't know who those people are, to be honest with you. But if you do so, I bet your channel is in danger. It's been from the very beginning. All right, and it says here, it says race realist, there's a lot of answers, replies to this. I don't have it in my vocabulary. Comments and replies. Surprised that Emil had this guy on. He claims that the Steins are benevolent. They are just like us, end quote, which is exactly how they tried to deceive you. And then he said that the same of them Steins are benevolent. Correct. He's right. Many of them have the same concerns like us. That's right. And gives us here about something else. I used to follow Taylor on American Renaissance until, okay. All right, and replies again, was that he's right. We think too abstract. We are too altruistic and more important. On that point that we are too altruistic and most important, we are full-bellied people for generations, bull-bellied. So our interests became blunt. I don't think these guys know our foreign religion that works for people who I think have a certain kind of state of mind and feeling. Then they use that, which is the blame game. You feel guilty. I am sinner since I'm at birth. So if I feel I'm a sinner since at birth, or at least Jesus washed my sins, and I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. So well, when someone comes and says, yeah, you're a sinner, you owe me, you're a sinner, you did this to me, or your ancestors did to me, what are you gonna do? According to that, you have to be crying and, yes, please take my seat right here and rule over me. Next one. Again, a lot of replies here to this. It's Anglo-Saxons white race thing. It's not a white man race thing, group thing. Well, I know that there are some people in an Anglo-Saxon world who think that people like me, we're not white. I know that exactly. I know that I could be considered, and I am considered, a second-class white, if ever. I don't care. You know why? Because those people will lose in an argument. Because I can always say I am Thracian. The Thracians were before you guys showed up, or at least, you know what I mean? So again, we are not white? Okay, well, these are meant to pull us apart. I mean, if I look at a guy from Great Britain and I look at a guy from, let's say, Hungary, they kind of look, Great Britain, sorry, England and Wales, I look at no, what I mean, not Great Britain, and they look at the Hungarian, they kind of look the same. But if I look at, let's say, a sub-Saharan African to, let's say, a English or a Hungarian, I have no problem distinguishing what kind of thing is over there. I mean, that's a reality. It's just, I know they give special cases and they say, well, see, the rule is not, no, that's special cases to what? To the general rule. Again, so there's a general rule. It says, of course, Latin and Slavic people agree. These are the replies between these two people who commented. What nonsense is this? White people this, white people that. What all comes from Adam and Eve? Okay, well, there we go to something. Please go and read my books written on that. I wrote 3 books, but at least 2 of them, no, at least 2 of them are in relation to the Old Testament. And please go over there and see Adam and Eve. There is a religion created by a certain kind of people for them, not for us. It just trickled down to us because, as I said, some people have a predisposition, certain kind of attitude. I fully agree with General Washington that we must protect this young nation from an insidious influence and penetration. The menace, gentlemen, is the, well, if we don't exclude them, in less than 200 years, our descendants will be working in the fields to furnish them subterranean sustenance. Well, okay. Well, I agree with George Washington. But the problem is in the Old Testament that we bring the fat, or our fat, not that kind of fat and milk and honey to Jerusalem, and our kings will bow down to. That's in the Old Testament, and it's not euphemistically explained or metaphorically. They really believe in that. Why? Read the Talmud. Taylor and the beggar makers. Yes. Politicians, bankers, academics, and media owners. No. Hello, my friend. Hello, and he seems to be from Jamaica. Hello, I say to you too. He has a Jamaican flag, if I can, and he is black. Thank you, gentlemen. Comment number 2, can someone tell me how one can pick out a quote-unquote Jew in a general population like a black person? Show him to me. And it's about proportion. It's also about proportion. I have no problem identify John Stewart or what's his name? John Stewart Leibowitz, I think is his name. Or get, I don't know, what the other guy, Bill Maher, Zelensky, Stein. It's not hard to see those guys. Now, if they intermix and all that, and coming from Europe through that, and yeah, sometimes you say, oh, is that like Blinken really one? Wait for the edge. And women, oh, vey. Look at Madeleine Albright, for instance. And look at, what was the first president of Israel? Golda Meir. Look at Barbara Streisand. A woman in love. Look at that one. They 3 look as. Look at Marilyn Streep. Is that how you call the actress? Look at them. The older they get, you can pinpoint clearly, easily. I can. I will not be 100% certain, but I think as a high probability that I can pick them. But I make mistakes. This have to be a joke. Black people in Africa had women as good like, okay, I'm not going to go over that. This guy claims that the Irishman Ted Kennedy was behind the most important legislation in the US, the 1965 Immigration Act. Here are the real movers and shakers behind the scenes. I agree with that, but I didn't want to tell Mr. Gerard Taylor that. It was not Ted Kennedy, it was the other guy, after whose name I think is it says Senator Jacob Javits, Congressman Emmanuel Keller, I think Seller, New York, Leo Pfeffer, former president of the American Jewish Congress, Norman Pedhoretz, writer and member of the Council of Foreign Relations. Emil is not as smart as I thought he was. So Emil is not. He was a guest. What was I supposed to do? To tell him this or that? Yeah, I could have said that. So your implication that I don't know things because I don't tell them, tone it down. I know a lot of things, but if I say certain things on YouTube, very obvious things, YouTube will have a problem with me. So you, if you like me, or like what I say sometimes, then you will understand that I will not say everything I know, and I can't. I could have stayed with Gerard Taylor for days, months probably, speaking continuously about things. So Emily is not as smart as I thought that he was. Just because I don't say certain things, I have to dodge shit thrown at me or don't step in it. All right, I forgive you. All right, next one. Most conversation on these topics, in my sincere opinion, suffer from a serious misconceptions, false concepts, and yes, layers of lies added by uninformed people. I won't try to add my opinion in this belief space. Let me just begin with, can you accurately define white? All right, well, it's always been vague, and sadly the scientific basic in Caucasian and Aryan concepts is a silicon liar misguided. Let me tell you this. When you have a genetic, like for instance for Ancestry.com, I give you an exact example because I know that for a fact, and you go and provide your saliva, a sample of saliva or blood, whatever, how deep you want to be in there, they tell you exactly what you are and where you come from, including if you're a Jew. So that for Jewish, being a Jew is not only a religion group. I know that for a fact, and I can prove that. All right, so you receive that, they tell you exactly. Now, what's white is not hard to figure things out. Come on. I mean, I know the universities and these smart people made us be confused of what's white. If I show up right here with Michael Jordan, what would you think I am? And what do you think he is? I mean, really? You can't go, oh, that's very simplistic. Could be very simplistic, but if you want to go, that's the point. These guys do mental gymnastics. All right, let's move on. The tiger has learned to tell the story of the hunt. Invaders burnt civilizations. Opium wars is how to define a much more civilized Asia. He is nuts. Well, there's no perfect society as not perfect group, is not perfect race. The problem is I don't want to be blamed, and I want to be with my family. I love my family. I don't like his family. Or no, I don't love his family. I don't have nothing to do with that family. But I should be allowed to love only my family and not be blamed and shamed into liking everybody else. Because why? No, I love my family more than everything else. It doesn't mean I hate the other ones. But if I say I love my family, somehow, oh, you don't have, that's not your family. How do you define that your family? This kind of idiotic things. Or why you like that? That means you hate everybody else. No, I don't. I like these guys and I love them. And if those guys do good things, I like them too. But as of now, I have nothing against them unless they hurt me. So again, invaders, yes. Some nations in Europe, not all of them, some, like 5 or 6, I can name them, committed a lot of things around the world. But don't ignore the fact that maybe the other guys would have done the same thing if they would have been stronger. They did in their areas. You can show me any nation, any tribe, anything, that any group, you know what I'm talking about, that was just like perfect and victims. It's only one. That's that haven't done anything to anybody, even though, okay. So everybody did something to everybody according to their strength. The problem is at times some were stronger than others and they could commit more damage. Jared is a lifelong fighter and a wonderful man, said this person. Emil, thank you so much for interviewing this guest. He's right about blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do we have here? A lot of replies. There is only one race, the human race. The universities did a good job on you, but thank you very much for your comment. And he says, yes, you got it. There is also only one Formula One race. Master race chosen by God, biological genealogy matters. Tell that to a Canadian government that will look you races. Okay. I thought Emil hates identity politics, but here it is, and with much glee in Emil's eyes. Such an ignominy. I can't deny that's a group fight for resources. I can't deny that I love my family, as I said before. I don't think we in a society should have more rights than others just because. I think my family should have its own nucleus homogeneity as others can have. If others want to have their diversity, fine with them. I know I have my own preferences, and I don't think I should be called names, or I mean, I can be called names, it don't hurt me much, but it's just I should be entitled to have and like whatever I want to like. No? Identity politics. I don't say these guys should kick the other ones out or anything like that, but can you see that certain kind of things are imposed on my family? Why would I accept that? According to whose values of identity politics? Next. Thank you for a comment as well. To be expected that a white English egalitarian is mischaracterized as a white supremacist by Wikipedia and other promotes of divide and conquer tactics to distract the masses from seeing what are really the cause of misery and diminishing standards of living here in the US. Meow. Okay, someone said I can meow. Oh, a lot of responses to this, replies to this. Ask yourself why USA is most hated country in the world. And there's a lot. Simple. We inherited the British Empire, superiority complex, wars. The United States is, well, yeah, we are trying to look like saint. Don't destroy countries that there will be no refugees. Don't make money from the air and there will be no poor countries. So we are responsible for all that. We. So don't destroy countries and there will be no refugees. Okay, let's say tomorrow the United States of America doesn't do anything around the globe. It's going to be peace. I mean, this is very naive in my assessment. So if you think that if the United States of America tomorrow will stop making money out of thin air and America will not do anything, we'll just stay here, all of us. Do you think that there will be nothing in the Middle East, nothing in Africa, nothing in South America, nothing in Europe, nothing in Asia, nothing? There will be, oh my God, the only bully country on this planet is gone. Therefore, brotherhood of human beings. Think about that. I don't think that would be the case. If tomorrow the United States of America will not have an army, this country will be occupied. I think militarily occupied. Xenocracy has been known since Aristotle. An oligarchy imports new people as their army and police force. I know that. Thank you very much. Very smart point. Our tribal friends funded the finance. I know that. I learned that in communist Romania. That was the case. Excellent interview, more like it required. Well, I'm planning to get interesting people here. You like it or not? Interesting. Remember how it was? I can't remember who said that. I don't care when I die. I don't want to go in heaven. I want to go over there. You know why? Because the most important, most interesting people are over there, not there. According to that person. And anyway, here we have, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read all the replies. Are too many. Emil, you are a fine human being. I can see by watching you a long time. The logic is this something like I am Emil, look inside, I see I'm pretty nice guys. You are. I am white, therefore my fellow white people must be nice like me. No. Therefore all the criticism hoisted on whites is unjust. No. Well, the flaw in your argument is believing you are white and believing that your conscious and internal ethical structure is shared by all those identify as white. No, it's not so. No, it's not. But that's not what I believe. Sorry. And it's more to that. All right, let's move on. Jared is 100% correct, says this in a comment. Department of Education is where it really got started hard, the menticide. All right, let's see what's going on. Again, I am a white woman. I am very proud of my ancestors, of my people, culture, and everything. I don't see anything wrong with loving your own. All right. The gentleman is next level, elevated, pure class. Thank you, says this person. So, white is a nation? So, what is a nation? White, black, brown, or yellow? The best description of a nation state that I ever heard anyone describe is a nation, is a group, a race of people. You should take down this video. Immoral and racially biased discussion of a perceived fearful problem or interracial mixing situation caused by human exploitation. Whenever I hear someone telling me what to do, I'm thinking, who are you? Give me some credentials. Who are you? What did you do? And why should I do what you tell me? Why should I do? Is too much this? Well, I allow that person to speak. I have many other guests that are going to come here that you're probably going to agree with. And we're going to have other people saying, well, you should take that down, Emil. So remember, I will never be able to make one video where everybody, this is a infantile, or how should I put it, not infantile, but a childish mentality, when you think that all people should love you and we all like everything. No, that means you don't stand for everything. So I expect people to always dislike something and like something in the same time. You have groups. So if I listen to you, I take this down because of that. I have people who said, no, keep it up. Unless you think that those people are all bad. What do you do with bad people? Incarcerate them? Send them somewhere else? What do you do with them? So I can't make a video where everybody will agree with. So that means I should just close this and let, I don't know, Jon Stewart talk and all those imbeciles. Should I do that? And then if I would listen to you, why wouldn't I listen to you? I don't listen to my mom. I listen only to me. I only listen to me. And if you give me a good advice, we can discuss. And if I think your good advice would benefit me or whatever we are working on, I will take it. I will consider it and change it. Change just listening to me. But I am I. You are you. Do something, get in the arena, take your things off, and get, intellectually fight. Again, the same idea. Oh, close it because I don't like it. What if someone doesn't like you as a person? Should I close you? The thing about, this is my friend that says, hello, my friends. The thing about, as the guy from Jamaica, this guy says white people, the European, will do good things just as long as they are the dominant factor. I don't think so. Maybe he says that, but I disagree that if you have only white people, they will do all good. No, that's not what he said. That's not what I say. We don't, again, go to the family thing. I have a kid who does something bad. I had my wife or my wives, or however we want to look, and my whatever. We do bad stuff. But it's still something else over there. All right, thank you for a comment anyway. Last video ever I'm watching from this channel. Emil, you have a very toxic and dangerous agenda. I should have known, but thanks anyway. Sayonara. Sayonara to you too. And this is doesn't even show his face or her face. Look at me. I put my name on this channel. I don't put the chupacapa. All right. I don't hide behind frames as screens at others and just hear only my voice. You know who I am. You can see who I am. You can see my office. You can find me. Don't you think that I have something that person doesn't have? Showing a fox as show your name. Who are you? Skyflower? Sorry for mentioning it, but you don't even have the courage to show who you are. You talk to me. No problem. I have no problem with that. But again, you don't watch it. That's fine. That's the good thing you could do. Maybe you learned something from the bad people as well, But nevertheless, thank you very much for being with me so far. Maybe you will return. That's all I can say. And if that's your assessment of what I'm doing here, a dangerous agenda and very toxic, these words tell me a very left inclination, the toxic masculinity and the agenda. These things work in a certain way. I'm generalizing, obviously, but hey, I haven't been around the block just because I have to keep my mouth shut. All right, let's move on. This guy, I'm sorry to say, is totally insane. At no point can he ever contemplate that the majority of the globe has at one point or another, by this so generous, patient builder, settlers, blah, 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 subjugated to immerse brutality, theft, enslavement, but now advocates for everything that others have been denied. Well, you insult me. I'm a white person. We didn't do this around the globe. Certain people of a certain group, not me. Okay? Now, is generalization. Did Mr. Jared Taylor generalize? Yes, he did. But he had what? An hour and a half to make his point. I'm not trying to defend him. He has big balls. All right? He can defend himself. My point is, you can't make arguments in an hour and a half. You can't. There's more detail to that. So don't lump me together when I say, well, the European colonizers. That's insulting to me. I was born as a Romanian, a white Romanian. So I wasn't a colonizer, so insult me. So don't lump me with the Portuguese, Spanish, English, French, Belgians, and, all right, if I miss someone, the Dutch, I apologize. I was not a colonizer, so don't say ever again the European colonizers. You lump us together. So again here, it's not the white people in per se doing that. Remember, look at other nations. I'm going to go back to that. Do you think they were nice? Even this so-called, I put it, the Indian Americans, they destroyed and took over each other's lands. Huh? So they were having fun by having someone wrapped around their, whatever, I can't remember, their pillar of torture, and they were having fun, by cutting certain things from that person. Is that how you call it fun? But you don't know these things. Why? It takes courage, and not only courage. Anyway, move on. Just listening to his arguments, he is what they say he is, or worse. You should ask him who are the savages that contributed nothing to society. Do you have your personal purse ready? Okay. God at call them primitive workers. Okay, Emil, this was a good pick to you to do with this gentleman. Very clear that if I follow you, your YouTube, and you don't disappoint. Agree with your host 100%. I didn't agree with Mr. Jared Taylor 100%. Do you expect me? I didn't. But we needed months to discuss the disagreements. And here, congratulations, thank you very much. And it says, I'm a white man, heterosexual, and feel great. Fantastic, good for you. The same applies here. There's no place like home. For some reason, the US keeps destroying Haiti, 99.9%. There's no place like home. For some reason, the US keeps destroying Haiti, 99.9% of things that happen of Haiti. It has something to do with America or French. Those are the two evil spirits in Haiti. All right. How many times the Americans and the French and United Nations helped Haiti? You don't know? Well, if you don't know, you look, it was even in the other century and in the other centuries. So that means 20th century and 19th century. Yes, some people did bad things to Haiti. That's true. But at one point, Haiti got independent. What did they do? And that was what? 1806, after the genocide against the French population and the Creole population of Haiti. They were independent. What did they do? Don't give me the legacy of that. So a lot of countries were independent. In Africa, they were independent. They were free. What did they do? What did the Europeans found in Africa when they landed over there? How they were able to do that? How did Cortez was able with 100 people and 5 horses, I'm just minimizing, conquer a whole continent? How? Anyway, just questions. You find the answers. One thing Mr. Taylor is forgetting is many of the white people, as he calls them, are assimilated. Do you mean? Okay, so therefore, that means their families are multiracial. Yeah, and okay, no, I don't think he forgets. What can I do with those guys? The same thing, the argument goes with the reparations. Slavery reparations, the same thing. Think about that. And I'm sensing that you will not agree with the reparations, saying, okay, so you have someone who's white and black, biracial in this case. What are you going to do with them for reparation? And what are you going to do with the black slave owners who owned black slaves? Are they going to pay reparations? They were. And even Indian Americans owned black slaves. Are they going to do what? Pay reparation? If you're willing to say yes, then okay, I think you're a just person. But why should I pay? I didn't do anything unless you go to the 7th generation. I'm not, guilty of anything about that. Followed you a while, Emil. Listened to your guest. You reached out to Mr. Galloway. I did. I did. How do you know that? Did I say that? I think so. I'm from UK. You both are honorable men. Different sides of the spectrum. Communism and okay, but both honorable men, all the same. I'd love to hear you both getting down and dirty. I would like. I extended an invitation. I don't know if I reached the right person, but I'm working on Mr. Galloway as well. I agree with Mr. Taylor regarding immigration, society, and so on. He's very limited, he said. I doubt that he shares your ideas about Israel conflicts at the moment. No, he's not. No, he's not. We're not on the same page. Intelligent, well-spoken. We are just opposed by Khazarians and their brainwashed dupes. Okay, I'm familiar with that. Bravo, said this gentleman here. Historically important contact. Thank you for bringing it to us. Thank you for watching. When he says white is not you, Emil, it's Anglo-Saxons and Germanics only. Okay. Jared agreed with Greco-Roman, so you must be wrong. It's a reply. It's the Anglosphere. The word white was co-opted to maintain the narrative. Emil can use white all he wants and it would be okay, but much to the amusement of the Anglos. Well, that's fine with me. If I identify, let's say, as God, what would you say? And I identify you as, I don't know, a human being. What would you say? All right, you know I'm not God, right? You're a human being, but I know I'm not God. So why do I care if these guys look at me like that? Why do I care? I know who I am. And I feel very good in my little skin here. Jared is the best. He eloquently explains things from our point of view. Word hierarchy is not invented by humans but discovered by them. We are not consulted. There are self-appointed spokespersons who step forward and speak for us on matters of white guilt. Good job. I'm usually worried about guest invitations on my favorite channels because it doesn't always go well. But this is very interesting so far. The person could be invited another time. An intelligent, calm person. Thank you very much. Emil, I would like you to explain this. First, we had Pax Romana, then we had Pax Britannica, now we have Pax Americana. Their goal is to establish Pax Judaica. But that seems impossible, since size matter, that the world, the West, is too big, too powerful unless they conquer more land. But that's not easy nowadays. So the easy solution is to make the world... All right, voila. Now you can have Pax Judaica. It's not going to be Pax Judaica. That is not going to be that. But thank you for your comment. I'm an African from Somali and a Muslim man. I honestly don't mind if European people make their own groups as long as we respect each other. That is a great person who said that. Our differences make us unique, great, and we can all make fun of each other and work together. Smiley face. Very smart. As brothers and sisters, as humans. Correct. God bless you both. God, I can say that because he's from a non-believer coming to a believer, it doesn't mean anything. But hey, thank you very much for your comment. You must be a very wise man. And if you're very young and you're getting to be wise and wiser, I'm not saying you're not, wiser, you have the right direction on that one. Not because that coincides with what I think, but it's going to help you. The only diversity we don't agree is diversity of opinion. And in the land of the free, only one race is at fault for everything, even if most come from stock that immigrated in the last 100 years. It's called historical guilt and race struggle. Makes total scientific sense. And some says based. I don't know what it is. Ha ha ha, 2 hours of less than 2K views. Wanna bet 90K people were afraid to leave their footprint on the internet by watching this? Question mark. Tells you everything. This person, I gotta tell you this. That's why I mentioned the likes, the number of likes that I have, and the number of comments to tell you that only this many people watch that. It's true that we are sometimes afraid to stick our necks out. It's true. But when you lead by example or you see other people, that will give you the courage to join in. I have only 93,000 subscribers, which is a lot, but not what I know should be. I think I should be much more than that. Why? I compare with what I say, how much I think, what I exposed to other people in the same thing, and they have 500,000 subscribers, and they are, sorry to say, not as good. And not only that, there's algorithms that limit probably your viewership, probably your subscriptions, and so on. You can stay at a certain number for 2 weeks, can you? Like 92,555. You stay at that number 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. How is that explained? Now, and sometimes you go one up, you go one down. Do you think that so many people? No. If you know mathematics, probabilities, you understand it's garbage. So it says it's fascism, marriage of government with corporations. Correct. Does not exist in the US, does it? All right. I know Mr. Gerard Taylor gave a different definition, slightly, but that's exactly what it is. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Hammurabi, ancient Hinduism, and no white people do not always treat women good at times too. I agree with that, 100%. Good post, Emil. First heard about Gerard through Patriotic Alternative UK. Okay, I see now why where Kamala Harris got votes. All the wars were done by bankers, says this person. Next interview, invite an Antichrist and interview him. Well, I should just bring a mirror. How about that? Next time, invite the Antichrist. Well, in order to, I'm going to say it, in order to exist Antichrist, first it has to be the Christ. In order to exist hell or heaven must be hell. So in order to say all these things are anti this, you give from the very beginning the idea that there is something before that. But that is challenged by certain people. I mean, that I think was funny. I would invite him. I would invite anybody, my friends, anybody. The more controversial that person is, the more flavor that person has. If everybody thinks the same, what's the point? All right, I looked for Mr. Gerald Taylor's page and I was unable to find it. It was a link available. Uncle Gerald. Respect to Jared for being an advocate for us for decades. Great man. Lucky this man doesn't live in New Zealand, he would be toast. The great Maori culture would engulf him. What's next? Foundation Black American is a proper term. Descendants of those who contributed to the building of this country. Members of my family were proudly served and fought in the military since World War I. I thank you for that. Now, bravo, Emil, well played. Two real gentlemen, great two gentlemen. Thank you for bringing this show to us. Taylor's presence on this page shows me that Emil knows little of American history. All right, if only Mr. Cosman knew that only 80% short years ago Eastern Europeans like him were not considered white and faced discrimination themselves. I do know that, and I think I explained before that. So that shows how little I know about the American history. Well, I would ask you, do you know how the Bill of Rights came into place? And if you don't know, it's about the Shea Rebellion. Just an example. I know about this very much compared with others, and little compared to others. I don't know everything. There are people who know much, much more than I do. What am I supposed to shut up? I see these guys in the big media, they don't shut up, and they're dumber than me. They say things that are lies, and should they be allowed and I shouldn't? Why is that? All right, I can't make my point here. I would like to meet you and maybe you come with me on a little island and we can discuss, I don't know, about 5 months about the US history and we can discuss. I don't pretend I know everything. I think I know much more than the average person on the street. Why? Because I read about it. Now it doesn't mean I retain things, right? But that's a different story. So thank you very much for your, and it says, haha, that didn't make them any less white. Fine. Then came to a different country. Okay. And they accepted. All right. The same argument the media and the entertainment and the school curricula teaches us. You know, I remember the Italians and the Eastern Europeans that were not considered and the Irish were not considered. So what am I supposed to say? They're not white because they were not considered? I mean, bring Michael Jordan here. We are all the same. Yeah, we bleed the same. If we die, Michael Jordan and I die, and we are going to be decomposing and only our skeletons will remain over there. And you have real scientific forensic investigation on our bodies. They will know he was from a descent and they will know I was from that descent. So thank you very much. But it's little aspects about it. Several years ago, the Roman Catholics tried to create a Catholic community in Sarasota area that got shut down. You can't do that. Excellent guest, Emil. Thank you. God bless. Elon Musk is African American. Yes, he is. Can Professor give me definition of racism? Is it racism? I don't like some Indian food or curly black. All right. Let's read this one. Can Professor give me definition of racism? Is the racism if you don't like some Indian food or curly black hair or orange hair? Do we have rights to not like something and that is not called racism? Well, this is the way these guys want to regiment us. Incredible interview with an exceptional, esteemed guest. Thank you for doing this, Emil. Thank you for being with me. And so someone says, oh no, great interview. Let's see how long YouTube lets it stay up. Isn't it? We are living in a constitutional democracy, all right, republic, whatever. We are supposed to, how do you call that? Freedom of speech is enshrined in what? The First Amendment to the Constitution. But somehow a private corporation can limit my freedom of speech if they want. They don't like what I say, and they give whatever the community standards, community guidelines are, and so on. Why is the Constitution not applying here? If these guys ignore the First Amendment, they can ignore the Second, the Third, the Fourth, the Fifth. Women cannot vote. Black people cannot vote. Is that what it is? Why can't they just, the First Amendment, they can infringe the way they do, but not other amendments? In the YouTube or whatever, Meta or whatever it is, Google owns this shit. Why is that? So think about that one. People living in rich white areas should have listened. The few remaining ones should listen too. When your lower classes and less wealthy masses say there's a problem with immigration, jobs, housing, crimes, listen to them. I think so. You are welcome, says someone. Great to hear perfect sense from an eminent Jared Taylor. Who is the enemy? Take a look in the mirror. Well, I think obviously, if you have interest, you can figure out, and the interests are based on something, even food or interest for access to women, you immediately can identify the enemy. And I think here we can say it because, as I said a minute ago, I can tell you. I can make a point very easily to tell you who exactly the enemy is. But do you think this video will go? No. So who is the enemy? Well, listen again. Maybe you figure out from me. If you watch me frequently, you understand we have enemies. And you have enemies. We all have enemies. They have enemies. They got a tiger by the balls. And if they let it go, the tiger will turn around and bite them. Now, wow, Jared Taylor is back. Thank you, Emil. Köszönöm. That's Russian, Hungarian. Köszönöm. Is that what it is? I think. A plain true racist. GB forever. And throw up. Okay. EU Kalergi plan, okay, from pirates and pillagers to explorers and evangelists, all media spin just like the all men are created equal for us declaration hypocrisy. Mr. Jerry is absolutely correct that white Europeans, okay, wonderful video, Emil, Emil, thank you a ton, Jared, and you get it 100%. Good fences make good neighbors. I make mistakes. I can speak only for myself. I make mistakes. I was wrong. I am wrong sometimes. I will be wrong in the future. But you learn. And I would like people to help me. Help me get the truth. That's why is stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just from as many angles as possible. I want that to happen. So, as I said, someone else's criticism to me, actually that person is my professor, is my teacher. I will look into it and then I enhance my knowledge. I change my view on certain things by being exposed to truth. I can't read everything, I can't watch everything, but if you tell me something and I look at it, I say it's true, I incorporate it in my mind, in my brain. Therefore, I'm getting closer to truth. I thank you. I thank you for doing this, my friends. So again, I'm not 100% correct whatsoever. I make mistakes and I learn each and every day. So some things can change. Some things can be have a different nuance. Wonderful video. Okay, thank you very much. The Constitution is a bill of the individual right. You are not a weasel. Even JP sold himself. And I think there's Jordan Peterson. You stay grounded in logic and reality even if I don't agree with everything. Perfect. Thank you very much. Guns, other hard stances, or some unfair comparisons like big cities versus small communities, which always are cleaner and better to live in. But they just make me appreciate you, makes me appreciate you more because you talk about what you believe in, not what you please or get you to the most views. I feel like I learn a lot from you, especially in the reasoning compartment. Too bad we are just here to listen and you don't even know that we exist. I know that. I would like to meet you. If I grow big enough, all right, we can meet from time to time, coming in different cities, but that's one of the goals of what I'm doing here. So discussions sadly are one of the out of the questions because I have a feeling it's a blast to have a discussion with you. I know that for sure, having a discussion to you too, even where stances would be different. Correct. Anyway, greeting from your favorite Chihuahua weasel country, Lithuania. Oh my God, I said so many things about Lithuania that I've been to Lithuania 2 times, to Kauna, Lietuva, when I was a a member of the Romanian Karate Kyokushin karate team. I went over there and I participated in the European Championships. It was in 1995, I think it was, or 6, one of those two. Anyway, thank you very much. It's more to that. I have to move on. Yes, that's the way we learn and we become wiser. Every culture has its own weaknesses and strengths. Correct. Best thing to do is not separate or be divided against each other. The best thing to do is to learn from each other, correct, other to build a society. Yeah, but there are certain things that are different. Like, for instance, some people, let's say, have, and it's illegal, as I remember, for instance, a certain kind of marriages. They have particularities that we don't agree with that. Some people, made slavery illegal before others made slavery illegal. And I think right now in Libya, slavery is still there, and not only. So you see, yeah, we can, but we can't agree. Like in other certain countries, which is a detail, can be fixed easily. Some people drive on the left side of the road, the other ones on the right side of the road. We have different cultures, we have different pleasures for different things. Listen to their songs. You can enhance your culture and pleasures. I agree with that. I disagree. The Constitution states equal due process and equal protection of the law, regardless of the race, religion. However, if you say that and you put however, that kind of like, as a citizen, all have equal rights, including so-called white people. We are equal, are we not? Well, then why do you have affirmative action if we are equal? Why is that still there? Why do you go and you have DEI if you're all equal? Why do you feel sometimes guilt of taking someone else's job because, the other person is? Why? I understand what you say. There are many things that are pushed at a soft power level, not as a legal level, like DEI and so on. I made a video on personal example when I was working for the government, where all the supervisors, out of 12, I think they were 2 men only. None of them was black, or 2 white men. The rest, half of them were black females, overrepresented by DEI standards. Nothing about that one. And as I said, 10 out of 12 were women. Women make up 51% of the population. Therefore, overrepresented. I didn't hear reverse discrimination or anything. But that was not, a policy. It was just because they were better than others. Okay, then apply that in other aspects. I agree with you with certain things here. In the course of the discussion, difference in IQ was discussed. I think that is one of the things that made the white race succeed. The level of it has something. Papa, one of the biggest. Yeah. Emil, thank you for an interesting interview. I sensed the need to research AR and JT before watching the interview, so I could appreciate it more, understand it, the context. My internet research quickly led me both to the ER, web page, and to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay, and then more to that. Thank you very much for doing that. And I have here a meme with a punch and the sunglasses, and it says here, Jared, there is an interesting name. This person says, putting woman on a pedestal is your Achilles heel, crying, and he wonders why things are not turning to dust. Smiley face. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. My little, how do you call that? A dolphin. All right, it says here, his ignorance is as profound as it is pitiable. This person says, okay, on what subject? Replied someone, and someone said, anyway. So his ignorance is as profound as it's pitiable. Okay, well, that's your opinion. It's an opinion. I think it's not an assessment, but this is a definite download. Thank for the guest, Emil. Winners tell us what happened. Okay, that's true. Winners make the history. Mostly agreed with Gerald. Good interview to get the whites POV. After all, the whites carried civilization forward to this date. Well, there were some Chinese, there were some Egyptians, there were some others. There were the Mesopotamians, Babylon and all that. So, okay. The problem with race has not whatsoever loving. The problem with race has nothing whatsoever with loving your own or putting yourself first. The problem is in stepping down on others to climb to the top or staying on. Yeah, that's a human instinct. Great interview, Emil. A 4-star named Lloyd Austin is the U.S. American Secretary of Defense. But is the U.S. better off if Austin is the Secretary of Defense in his own army? A four-star general, no. But is the U.S. better off if a Secretary of Defense in his own army? I have the Haiti example, that when you hear reparations and some people are always oppressed, and their children learn, and then they become adults, and then they become on positions of power in a society, you can't ignore the fact that some people really detest and hate other people. So if these people would appoint their people over there, it can happen a little real insurrection here, if you know what I mean. So I'm concerned about that one. There's no need for Mr. Taylor to lie about Black Americans not having massive impediments to self-discrimination and self-development in America. There have been many attempts of Black American self-improvement, but were severely hindered by the following: Black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration. Don't commit a crime, you're not going to be incarcerated. The destruction of multiple separate black towns and business districts. No other group were targeted this way, especially without compensation. Even slaveholders received reparations after the Civil War. I agree with Jim. I agree what you said about those things that you enumerated over there outside of mass incarceration. My point is this: I came in this country with nothing, my hand in my ass. All right. So I worked 2 jobs, I worked with no days off, and I saved a lot of money. As lowest of the lowest. So can they. You know what they need? And what I had, let's put it so, what I had? Discipline. Postponed gratification. Big goals. I don't think that's based on being white, yellow, purple or something. It's a, how do you call it? A training that you develop. I was not trained by my mom, my dad, or my how do you call it, society where I come from. Otherwise, the Romanians will be the richest guys in the world, and they're not. Or my family. No, I wanted that. I realized what I need to do, and I disciplined myself. I trained. That's how I succeeded under the given circumstances. And nobody gave me a job because, hey, Emil, you look white, but you're not white. Nobody gave me that. No, not even promotions. So, no, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, including the supervisors from the Department of Health and Human Services in the state of Michigan, and the trainers who got those jobs for the government, because probably not in government, they have to be like me, work hard and be disciplined. All right, let's move on. There is only one race, the human race. Okay, Trump wants to ban Muslims, but is very favorable to Israelis. Yeah, it's true. Trump wants to ban. Some of these comments by Gerald Taylor elicit such a big grin and laugh by Emil Kosman. Thank you very much. Well, you have to sometimes... Yeah, anyway. Separate but equal again? No, I disagree with that. No. Where's my bands, boy? Answer, it's in my enclave. All right. Jared is a sincere, honest, and truthful man. He is not a gangster rapper or underwear showing skateboarder. He is a materialistic man who happens to be considered or seen as white. Happens. Well, okay. If that matters or immediately disqualifies him from the human race, the one who is bigoted is a name caller with negative biases. Thank you for your comment. Putin said something interesting once. He said that Russia does not have the race conflict that the West has. He went on to say one reason is because Russia has no quote-unquote Chinatowns, black or Hispanic neighborhoods, etc. If he's correct, the integration is not a problem, is not enough integration. No, it's a group, the enemy, got it? The enemy who wants to create us fight. To fight one another down here so they can loot us and command, be in control. That's the enemy. Got that? Previously said who's the enemy? That's the enemy. And because you don't, in Russia, it's not the mass media and the entertainment industry doesn't give you the idiocracy that, those guys are the good guys, those are the bad guys, you should hate them because of past this and past that. Because that's not in there, you don't have a growing echelon from a certain group hating another group because it's fueled by the enemy. Got it? Okay, let's move on. You didn't? Yes, you did. Were those white men here born in USA, or did both immigrate to the US from another country? Well, this is my answer to that. You see how fast I got this one ready to fight? This is the way it is. I did something to come to this country. Formed by European settlers so I did something. Why? Because I want it. I believe in this, and I don't like the way it's going and it's turning into. I think we're going to be a baboonish country pretty soon with nuclear weapons in the hands of people who don't like most of us. All right. I don't know about Mr. Jared Taylor. Is benefiting the people. Okay. How can building isolating communities build better relations with each other? What would you do differently? Question mark. When we ask the question what we can do, we are still thinking that I can do. You understand? You are thinking, okay, how can building isolated community build better relationship with each other? It doesn't have to be better relationship. I don't have a better relationship with a neighbor. I have no relationship with a neighbor, and I'm in the same neighborhood. But in my family, I have a fantastic relationship with my family. I don't have a relationship with you either. Not good, not bad. No relationship. I don't have to build one. I don't feel the urge to build with anybody unless, something happens. And yes, that's a valuable person. I will build a relationship with you. But you can't build with everybody good relationship because we are not like that. We are not like that as human beings. Oh, see, that's the only human race. That's not what I said. Okay. I'm Zimbabwean. My friend, my brother. Shake hands with me. And I agree with everyone having a sense of belonging, and it is really right of each individual. Okay. Thank you very much for posting. Love thy white brother. No more brothers' wars. Don't let them divide us. Wake up, white up before it's too late. I completely disagree with his evaluation of race. Okay? And this person has a few. Let's see. If his hypothesis was correct, a different race immersed in a different culture would act the same way they did on the culture his race came from. This implies a biological mechanism for customs. There is zero evidence for that. So, if a different race immersed in a different culture would act same. Well, there are nuances. It's not clear cut. There are nuances. If you have a lot of Romanians immigrating quickly here, they will create enclaves, and we will have our own food. We'll still do that. Our children will have the same food and the same traits that we have, the same cultural traits from Romania. Now, if this culture grows and these enclaves grow bigger, they would be the main culture on this country. So there you have it. Now, I don't think that if tomorrow you can disappear the population of the United States, all of us disappear, and you bring here Romanians, only Romanians. I give you Romanians so you can't say that Romanians or Albanians, and bring them here is going to operate in the same way it operates now by the current population. I disagree with that. Why? I've been around Romanians. Here in America, they have the same traits, good traits. Not all of them, I'm generalizing, okay? Why do you think I'm here and I'm not there? Why do you think I'm here and I'm not there? All right, Emil, we know your guest is Mr. Clean, no matter who he claims he is. All right, we are one but not the same. Imagine all the people. No, this is one. We are one but not the same. This is the U2 song One, which I like very much. Coincidence. We are one but not the same. One love, one love. I don't like the U2 whatsoever. I don't like the guy that he just say. Look at the demographic of those Trumps made sure to pardon on his way out of 2020. And for those he let rot in prison for his J6 charade. I will dare you, and I don't think you know, look at Bill Clinton's, who he pardoned when he left office. And you're going to find a lot of Steins. So thank you very much. You didn't know that? If you did, I disagree with his pardons, just so you know, because the pardons are not seen by the president, are seen by his staff, and his staff brings it in front of him like Stalin to sign what he did. It was the people bringing their names. He didn't know all those millions of people. They committed crime. Other people in charge, like, I don't know, Kaganovich, Lazar Kaganovich brought him some lists and he signed, and then his people, these commissars, did it. You know how things function? The bureaucrats, the lower rank. Thank you, Emil, for inviting me. So, Gerald, for me, it's high pleasure to meet Mr. Taylor. Thank you very much. Wow, didn't expect this, Emil. Nice to see Gerald looking well. To this day, it's unclear why Polish authorities and who issued a blanket ban against Taylor. The directives probably weren't sent to Poland from Brussels, and they're not naive. I think so. Emil, I love the format that you provide for guests. You are one of the few who listen without interrupting while discussing controversial topics. 100%. I learned a lot from this interesting and intelligent dialogue. Thank you for the book recommendation. I conceive a knowledge of books in the basis upon which other knowledge is to be built. George Washington. Thank you very much for watching. Well, he's the guest, so he's supposed to talk, not me. So whenever I see these guys talking more than everybody else, like we have that guy, what's his name, the English guy, the uncensored guy. Oh, fuck. What's his name? That weasel. Oh, my God. Piers Morgan. He talks more than his guest. Most people talk more than they invite in this. I invited so you can listen to him, not to me. I mean, we can have a little back and forth, but that's the point. That's why I invited. He's the invitee, not me. Look it up. Amy, look it up. Holy people, pop. Okay, I will look for that. Diet woke. Okay. I agree with everything he says. Has a genuine, compassionate human being. He says in the way he is a bloody legend. Gerald Taylor sounds a lot like Carl Sagan. I'm not familiar with that person. Sorry. Excellent. It's brainwashing over the years. Thank you, Emil, always. Thank you for your factual and logical education. Thank you very much for being with me. Ukraine war is a war against this kind of people. I think so, partly. While enlightening high level of resentment, I will listen 2 times. Take care. Thank you. Thank you very much, Elvis. All right. In the 25-minute mark, Jared tried to argue that no non-white dictator has ever been called a fascist. I recently heard Xi Jinping and Narendra Modi get called fascist. Oh no, to mention the elephant in the room, Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't consider him white because neither does he. I have lived all over the world and I observed that race is only a tiny faction. Well, why don't you let us be then? Not you, all right? I have lived as 2 times. 3 times. Gentlemen, both of you are heroes in my eyes. My deepest respect. You inspire us all. Thank you very much for saying that. Just allow us to speak. Thank you very much. 200 years of war is a beautiful white American history. That's all you got out of this? That's all you got out of this? Really? So remember, let's say, when I was younger, I used to be very, like fighting, fist fighting. If you look at me and you take my history on that, yeah, I'm a very violent, bad dude and so on. Yeah, but if you choose to focus only on that reality in those days, then yes, you can look at me like that. But you can do the same thing with you too. I don't think you're perfect. So I don't think you would like if someone would say, well, you are, a dishonest person because you lied one time. You see, he's a liar. I'm pretty sure, I know, he's going to say something that probably you did as well. You mistreated something or someone. Hey, he's a, now. What if someone said, hey, he's stupid because he didn't know an answer to a question? So you see, if you focus on one aspect where you failed, we all failed. That's why you have the multitude and put all together and then you analyze it and see. Thank you for your comment. Is there any room for culture in this thinking? Race has made little difference since culture and cultural differences. They have been duping us into thinking people like this gentleman, David Duke and Fuentes, are monsters when they just simply want to preserve their heritage, which in a natural instinct, Well, I gotta tell you that. Someone said, who's going to be David Duke is going to be next? I said, you want me to get arrested? I would like to speak with anybody. I would like to meet that gentleman. I would like to speak with him, as I would like to speak with Obama, with Michelle Obama. I would like to speak with Biden if he's still there, with Kamala Harris. I want to speak with these people. Why? I learn. That's a selfish thing. So, yeah. All right. The problem is everyone forgot the gene pool argument. Good catch, Emil. Wow, master, after all, you are looking like 7 years old in front of a racist. Cheers, Emil. Good to know. Wish you all good to your white family. I'm black, wishing you well. Wow. Thank you very much for being here. But I think it's... Anyway. Go over there. Good job, Emil. Over the past 30 years, Australians have been convinced that because of the British moved into massive landmass called Australia, where only a few 100,000 Stone Age Aborigines had existed. Okay. Hey, Emil, I think you should balance this up by inviting someone from the other side to share his views. Maybe Dr. Umar Johnson. David, please do that for me. Please do that for me. Make sure this person comes here. I would like to listen to what he has to say. You understand where I'm standing? I didn't invite this guy, Mr. Jared Taylor, just because. I want to hear from these guys. I would like to invite Mr. Louis Farrakhan. I really want to do that. And not only. So, yes, I would like to have, and it's not that I didn't extend, I made a list and I invited certain people. But you're on the 6,529 place to have Tucker Carlson here. I don't know if I send it to the right people. I would like to interview him. I have a list. I already made it. I have many people, interesting people. And about balancing, they balance it badly on that side. And I have to kind of, give the other side of the story. All right. But I'm all for knowledge. I don't disagree with him of what's happening to America today, but I disagree with some commentaries about white men I love of nature. Yeah, that's true. Or love of women's rights. That 160 blah blah blah. Furthermore, I would like to mention that in America up to the 1940s, at least Southern Europeans were not classified as white, Emily included. So what am I supposed to say? We're all the same? Well, I'm supposed to say that Michael Jordan is the same as I am, as a culture, as a race, because I was not considered, and one day he was going to be considered just human being. Am I supposed to do that? That means my family could not be considered my family. His family could be considered my family one day. But is the reality? Or is just a slight move of hand, or however you call that. Okay, well, thank you very much for your comment. Much full of cozy, but I guess we got to beat the bullet sometime. The term white Europeans can characterize in two primary groups: the traditional aggressive. I reckon you admire Jordan Peterson and Douglas Murray too? No. I used to like Mr. Jordan Peterson a lot when he started, and after he had his background breakdown, and then when he assimilated, when he associated with him being the employee of Ben Shapiro, and then what he said, a lot of things, his interview with Netanyahu, and a lot of things he said and avoids to talk about. No. Douglas Murray, I liked him until I heard his statement on Israel and on Russia and on the Palestinians. He kicked the bucket for me at that point. I said, what's going on here? The same with Ben Shapiro. I liked Ben Shapiro when I realized at one point who's behind certain things, and he could not be objective and smart as he is and fast with two subjects, Putin and Russia and Israel and them. He lost me again, because I realized things that sometimes maybe I don't know, I can't assess if that's true coming from a person that I don't trust anymore. I'm an Austrian-born gay man who leaves a woman but doesn't impose my beliefs and lifestyles. I'm an Asian, not Austrian, Asian brown, Jesus Christ, I'm tired probably. I didn't use this. I'm an Asian brown gay man who leaves a woman but doesn't impose my beliefs and lifestyle on others. And I always love your videos, Emil. This particular interview is really enlightening. Thank you very much for watching this. No problem with that. I don't care what you do, these kind of things. Don't impose that on me either. I have a problem only with, you know what? With the children. That's all. I have a problem with the children with these things. These things being, and that's pushed by someone else. You can love whoever you want if it's over it's a consensual and it's over the age of, 18, right? Awesome show. Love Uncle Jared. Thanks, Emil. Heads off. Hats off to you, Emil, for hosting Geopolitical. Respect. White people need political representation. A society that destroyed in 50 years. What other people think of me as a white man is their problem and display of their character. True, you have to know who you are. But Emil must remember that as well as white men have been screwing other latitudes with colonialism. White man. My parents didn't do that. They were white men. And many white men from England didn't do that. So I think that's it's a gross generalization that you can apply to the Zulus or others that did certain things. All right. So yeah, it's true. Some countries, some people, some empires, some nations did. Some people within the nations, but not all of them. Don't lump me together or the poor people who live in America as being responsible for slavery, for instance, or for what America is doing to this country or that country. Those people, they barely live. We should not look only at the elites. We should look at other people, regular people. They don't even know they're white, black, or whatever they are. They don't even care about it. So, white man, again, can you say black man? Oh, unless you attach something beautiful, then you can say it. And that's bad. That's bad. I think it's not productive, let's put it this way. Emil, you're playing a dirty game. You pretend to be a pro-Russia and against Zelensky. However, by declaring yourself a racist, you actually made Russia look bad. With friends like you, Russia doesn't need an enemy. In Russia's racists aren't welcome. In Ukraine, the Azov Battalion and Zelensky. All right, so let's start with this. I play a dirty game. Sometimes I play dirty games, yes. You pretend to be a pro-Russian. I don't pretend to be a pro-Russian. I pretend to be a pro-truth. You got me wrong from the get-go. I don't pretend to be a pro-Russian or pro-Ukrainian or pro-Romanian or anybody but truth. Before, I went to Romania and I met an old friend and he said, you're doing these videos, blah, blah, blah. So are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? Who are you with? And my answer was, with the truth. That's what I am, with the truth. Now, it can be perceived that I'm with this and that because I disagree with these guys here portraying untruthful things. So therefore, I try to unpack it for you, right? And yes, I love my family very much. I love my family more than your family, and you're supposed to love your family more than mine. What's wrong with that? I don't hate your family. Why would I? Just leave me alone. How about that one? In the way of, in the context of the conversation. All right. Should the title read Enemy of Our Destruction? Enemy of our destruction. I think you are missing the real problem. We're not the same body that came out of the mother's womb. It's changing every moment. So I'm not this body. It's only temporary. I don't know where I came from. Lost me. It's on its comments here. I wish Mr. Kamsum would take a bit of time to study events in South Africa. What, the disappropriation of African farmers, or in Zimbabwe or Rhodesia? Let's see. South Africa in the context of this discussion. Currently, Colonel Chris Wyatt is the only American commander on the subject. Commentator, unfortunately, very biased in his global views. Russia bad, US good. Well, I studied South Africa. No, I'm not an expert whatsoever. But in the context of this discussion, I know many things. Many things how the South Africans were dropped by these guys here. And their churches stabbed them in the back. And then we had what? Mandela. Okay, good for you. And then what the guys did to the farmers, the neckling, it was called. You remember that one? Neckling? Okay. And I know a lot about it. I know about it. But can I say it here? Very risky, because truth is a very high commodity now. Who called and maybe laws say certain groups of explain? Okay. Who called and made laws say a certain group was 3/4 humans? Explain that after you're done, sir. I'll wait. I don't understand. Who called and made laws say a certain group was 3/4? Okay, that's all right. The one drop rule, is that what it is? Explain that after you're done, sir. I'll wait. That was bad. That was bad. Some people did bad things. I guarantee you that. But there were some farmers who just farmed their land and they died poor. All right. So that was bad. That's true. It's bad. 100%. I disagree with that. We're all humans, equal, not as value, but we are humans. All that value is given to with what we make of ourselves, who we are, who we become, what we follow, what we do. So no, I disagree with that. Why did you think I would agree with that? Now I ask you this: remember, Barack Obama was called the first African American president. He was not the first African American president. He was the first biracial president. That means if people said that he was the first African American president, that means they believed in the one drop rule. You know, they said before to those ugly laws that if you have one drop of blood coming from that makes you an African American. Now this guy has 50% and they called him African American. So who is good here? I am good, or the media and the school and the universities and the entertainment and the politician telling you that Barack Obama is the first African American? They did. I'm good. I'm a good person right here. All right, let's move on. Thank you for your comment. All right. Man, this is long. I'm sorry, my friends. It's very long. Perhaps some of you do not wholly understand all that I have been saying about freedom. But I point out it's very important to expose the new. It's very important to be exposed to new ideas. Correct. And you do your research. Race realism is wanting the best for each race in their own nation. Racism is when you want the worst for another race under any situations. Yeah, kind of defines. No. Another considering all this is that there are learning. Is that an awakening of intelligence? Is there a sense of order in our lives? Man, this guy sounds like a real victim. I'm not saying that he is wrong. Would you say the same thing to, an African American or a Jewish person? Because they are the real victims, right? And who is the guy who made them get to that condition? Right? All of us. Or all of them? Okay. Thank you very much for your comment. I'm not saying that he is wrong. It's interesting what he said, but there is evidence that everything he said has been witnessed in every culture. And it's not true. The way people in other cultures treat their mothers just show that's Mr. Taylor. Okay, excellent, Emil, Mr. Taylor. Thank you both. Caucasian race, tricky, isn't it? Are you two guys supposed to be white people? I think that this spiel should have begun with a definite explanation of what exactly is a white person. Thank you very much for putting your picture there. You're a courageous person, even if I don't know if that's you, but great. But you look black to me. And I wouldn't do this on. I look white. Self-identification, I think it's great nowadays, isn't it? All right, so let's see what this person says. Thank you very much for commenting. What exactly is a white person? I remember an old SNL quip, when did Italians become white? I want you, my friend, to look at the producer of SNL and the actors over there and the owners of SNL. And then you're going to find out are the same guys who sometimes, not the same guys, belong to certain things, were behind, if you listen to Mr. Louis Farrakhan, in charge of the transatlantic. Okay? So they're not your friends either. Okay? They just use you against me and me against you. When did Italians become? That's the argument that these guys give. When they realize that we are white, that the Italians are white. But I don't think they will call you, looking at you, anytime soon, unless they will change it like right now. You identify as a flower, you're a flower. Now, again, that's not European thinking. I'm not saying it's something else, but it's not. Remember when we used to do things and drink certain things and we think that we're animals and roaring and so on. Remember those things? In Europe, that thing disappeared a long time ago. Well, look around the globe and see where that is still now. If I eat tiger's balls, I will get the tiger's energy and I will be like a tiger. Okay, my friends? All right, so she said, she ain't, says here, Harris pretending to be a black woman. She ain't black. Elon Musk is the richest African American in the world. He ain't black. During World War II, Germans didn't agree that Poles and Russians were part of the race. Correct, I know that one. They consider them sub and so on. God knows what they thought of Romanians. The same thing. Emil, you can do better. Okay, well, I'm trying to do better. But I can't do better if I just disappear. I have to expose myself and I have to get in conversation. I have to learn. Thank you very much for your comment. Yeah, I'm trying to do better every day. Otherwise, I will be in Tahiti right now with a margarita and 3 ladies of the night singing and dancing. But I'm not. Why? The flame, the truth and justice flame. So thank you very much, my friends. I think this was the last one. Probably this was the last one, but let's refresh it because I know this was the last one. But refresh it and see where it gets me. Oh, it's 2 more. He does not know what white is and denies ethnicity. At the same time, like disinformation. Maybe that's why he says white is in a funny way. Is he even a Christian or is he against that? Is he even a Christian? Why do you have to be Christian? To be pushed on guilt? If our humanity stops at the color of our skin, we are humanity. Okay. Wait, Emil, time out, I apologize. Our skin, we are on the road of bad karma. We go to Hindu now, and Buddhism. But every group or country has a duty to protect and care for their own without stealing other people's lunch. According to what rule? Humanity? When did we become humanity, because I'm assuming humanity means the good thing in this context. If you look on this planet, the history, we didn't become humane. We're not humane. Humanity is bad, according to my assessment. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm learning, but anyway, let's move on and see. Talk to the globalist about that. Let's agree on what our real adversaries are. Well, I can tell you, my adversary is the one that opposes me. And your adversary is the one that opposes you. So whoever, white, black, whoever, opposes me at the first step is who prevents me from achieving my goals. And my first goal is to stay alive. So who takes my... is going to be my enemy. The same food, right, shelter, and so on, the basic needs. And then from there you become to the Malthus, right? Not Malthus, what the hell is his name? The pyramid of needs. Malthus is the one with population control. Can't remember his name, sorry. Again, once you grow up from the basic needs to self-realization, then what do? Then you have other enemies, and things become more complex and more complex. Right now we're talking about this. We're talking about a country, a nation, but actually it's about the global interest. Now some people are just busy making a living. Some people have that done. They move to the second S5 level of in this pyramid. I can't remember the name of the guy. God, and always Malthus comes first, and I know it's not him. Anyway, I know he's going to be a lot of dumbass, you don't know shit. Well, I know what I'm talking about. That's more important of the name of the guy, don't you think? So I don't need to, if I know how to fish, but I don't remember the name of the person who taught me how to fish, I don't give a shit. It's going to be, thank you very much, but I don't remember. I know that guy, but it's more important to know how to fish. So, so the more you grow, the more you go up to the top of the pyramid, then the more you you see other enemies, because the other ones you already vanquished, you destroyed, or you're still fighting, but you become stronger and stronger and stronger, and then your vision goes to something else. That's the pyramid, my friend. So yes, we find different enemies, but one enemy that is on this globe that will affect me, have to start from the top, not from the bottom. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your criticism, constructive criticism. That is, Emil, you were wrong here. You say this. It's not like that. You made a mistake. Okay, let me look into it. And if that's true, thank you very much. You helped me. Thank you. I'm here to expose you to something else and other people. You don't like it? You have the freedom to go wherever you want. But I think we learn. So again, thank you very much. I will try to do this kind of videos. I don't know how long this is, Jesus Christ. 1 hour, 29 minutes. God damn. Whew. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.